Hello and a very warm welcome. Sebastian Vettel wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Oh wait, no, Lewis Hamilton does. Bullshit. Once again, the FIA stewards, they want all the credit. We moan about wheel-to-wheel racing and then they give... Vettel gets a bullshit penalty. Vettel crosses the line first, but 5-second penalty for coming on the track unsafe. It's bullshit. Vettel was going to boycott the podium. He then came in. He put the number 1 in his space. Changed. Hamilton had the number 1. Vettel had 2 where he was. And he changed them round. And he came in the room. I mean, it's nonsense. I'm angry. I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. I want him to win every single day of the week. But he did not win. Fair and square. He's actually showing. They're on the podium again now. Vettel on the top step. He steps down. He's got one leg on the top, one on the second. Hamilton. He actually dragged him up to the top step. I don't know what to make of it. I'm disgusted. It's criminal. I love this sport, but that's an embarrassment today. Every single F1 fan knows Vettel won that Grand Prix. It's a scandal. I mean, you hear Hamilton in the press conference. I want closer action. I want wheel-to-wheel action. We finally get wheel-to-wheel action. 2 unbelievable world champions going toe-to-toe. And the FIA, they want all the stewards. They want their fame. They want the glory. And they ruin what we love. We want to see racing. That's bullshit today. Exactly the same as Bahrain. Hamilton gifted a win. Leclerc should have won at Bahrain. Hamilton gets lucky, gets a win. Today, Vettel won the Grand Prix every day of the week. Pole position. He's been absolutely sensational. Holds Lewis Hamilton off. Yes, he did make a mistake. Yes, he did come back on the track dangerously. But he should have never got a penalty for that. And this is coming from a Lewis Hamilton fan. Hamilton, he doesn't deserve the win. If he passed him on track, fair and square, then the 5-second penalty wouldn't have mattered. Because if he'd have passed him on track, he'd have passed him. But Vettel loses the back end in turn 3. He goes across the grass. Hamilton takes it normally. And then Hamilton's trying to go around the outside. Vettel comes back on. He's all over this place. His car's not even under control. And it's unbelievable. And then he... See what happens. Hamilton's getting the trophy. Will he give it to Vettel? Or will he raise it? What's he doing? No, he just stepped down, pointed to his team. I want to turn the sound on, but I can't do it. I want to hear the Sebastian Vettel getting massive applause. Here comes the constructors. This is a bit of a different race reaction. We will get into the race reaction, but it's raw. It's emotional. I actually held off. I usually react straight away. Vettel refused to go to the podium, but he has to go to the podium. Otherwise, he'll get another penalty. And then he switched the 1 and 2 round. Here we go, Sebastian Vettel. We'll get into the race reaction in a minute, but this is a sad day. Here he goes. Vettel raises the... I'm sure the cheers are unbelievable. Obviously, I can't hear because I've got my TV on mute. So yeah, Vettel robbed. What are we going to call this video? Vettel robbed of the win by a bullshit penalty. Ricciardo and Stroll superb. Let's get into it. So, before the race even starts, Lewis Hamilton has issues with his car. Kevin Magnussen starts from the pit lane after his big shunt at Wall of Champions. Spraying the champagne now. It's a sombre. They're crucifying this sport. The sport that we love. We can't go racing because of penalties. Bullshit penalties. Should hang their head in shame. Whoever gave that penalty today. I mean, if it was for 10th place, it's a penalty. It's a penalty every day of the week. And another thing. Go back to 2016 in Monaco. Lewis Hamilton rejoined unsafely on Ricciardo. Ricciardo nearly ran into the back of him. It's the same, but Hamilton gets away with it in Monaco, but they give Vettel a penalty today. No consistency. Wankers. Unbelievable. No consistency. I mean, it's embarrassing. So in we go. We start. Albon. He gets sandwiched between Giovinazzi and Perez, I believe. Loses his front wing. He has to pit. A great battle. Battle of the future, Max and Norris going hammer and tong, hammer and tong. That was great to see. We'll see that for years to come. Norris, then he's out. His brakes were on fire. Rear suspension. He parked it turn 1 on the pit, like exit when you're coming out the pits. Kvyat round the outside of Kevin Magnussen. I mean, he's been absolutely superb this season, Danny Kvyat. Hulkenberg jumps Gasly. Gasly had an abysmal race. Martin Brundle's come up because obviously Vettel didn't do his interview because he boycotted the podium. Now they're doing his interview on the podium. He's going to be fuming. I don't blame him. Gasly, shocking race. I mean, he gets jumped by Hulkenberg, Bottas. Couldn't get past Stroll. Giovinazzi hit the wall of champions, and then later in the race he had a spin. Sebastian Vettel pits on lap 26, he's dominating the Canadian Grand Prix. Bottas v Ricciardo was an epic battle. Ricciardo moving around under braking a bit, but yeah, that was a good battle to watch. Hamilton, he has the DRS on Seb, but he locks up at the hairpin. Gasly, stuck behind Stroll, can't get past, eventually Stroll pitted. Did an unbelievable stint, did Lancey boy. And then comes the bullshit moment. Vettel robbed a victory. It's not good enough. It's unacceptable. They're killing the sport that we love. This is unacceptable. Everyone and their dog knows that Sebastian Vettel should be winning. They can't revert their decision. I think they should revert the decision. I think they should give Vettel the win, Hamilton second. But of course, that's never going to happen in a month of Sundays because obviously Mercedes aren't going to take that. It's tense. I can't hear what they're saying, so... But it looks awkward. I can't hear what they're saying, so yeah, we'll carry on. And then the bullshit becomes Vettel goes across the grass. If you're battling for 10th place, it would have been a penalty. He did rejoin unsafely. But it's for the race lead. Come on. Give it a bit of leniency. I'm a Hamilton fan, as you all know, and I think it's bullshit. Vettel should win that race every day of the week. And here's where you people who say I'm just Lewis Hamilton favouritism, bollocks. I speak the truth. I say it how it is. Lewis Hamilton should not win that Grand Prix today. The stewards, unbelievable. Steiner comes on the radio. Kevin Magnussen moaning on the radio. And Steiner, he's a great team boss. He comes on the radio, he says, calm down, calm down. And he's done it to Grosjean in the past, so he's a great team boss. Alexander Albon retires, and that's all I have written down. And then the somber mood, I'm not happy. DNFs, Lando Norris, brakes on fire, rear suspension, and then Ali Albon. Here we go, loses the back end, goes across the grass. Look, he comes back on, he's out of control, Sebastian. On board with Lewis Hamilton, into 3, into 4, Vettel across the grass. Ooh, it looks but worse on Hamilton's. Hamilton's trying to go around the outside, Vettel's out of shape. I suppose if Hamilton kept his foot in, Hamilton would have been in the war. But it's for the race lead, I stand by what I say. That is absolutely nonsense, bullshit. Anyone who says that's a penalty, surely everyone should say Vettel deserves to win. The penalty's bollocks. Race rating, I'll give it 7. I mean, it was great. We had battles, Lando Norris, Max, Hulkenberg and Ricciardo and Bottas, Vettel and Hamilton. But I was tempted to go higher, but that penalty, it's put me in a bad mood. Driver of the day, Ricciardo and Lance Stroll. And no. Actually, that's bad of me. Vettel, Ricciardo and Stroll. I'm giving it 3. I can't pick between them 3. Fastest lap, Valtteri Bottas came in. Race 7, Canada. Vettel robbed of win by a bullshit penalty. Ricciardo and Stroll are superb. So let's run down. Lewis Hamilton wins. Championship leader, shouldn't have won. Vettel, outstanding. P2, he deserves to win the race. Pole position, dominates all weekend. 10 out of 10 performance. He's absolutely robbed. I feel sorry for him. Charles Leclerc, P3, kept him out very long. It's a solid race for Charlie, just in P3 from lights to flag. Bottas, P4. Horrific weekend by him, to be honest. I mean, he back to his 2018 days. Poor qualifying, nowhere in the race. Max is P5. It's a great comeback. And he beats Gasly. And Max started 9th, so... Or was it 10th? No, it was 9th because Sainz had a penalty, Magnussen. Ricciardo, superb all weekend. Best of the... Well, 4th in quali. 4th in quali. 6th in the race. Hülkenberg's P7. Amazing points for Renault. 100% Renault called team orders as well, because Hülkenberg all over Ricciardo and then he drops off 5 seconds. They must have called team orders, because that's a great haul of points for Renault. No point racing because they're so far off Max in ahead, and then there's a big gap behind. But of course we want to see them racing. Gasly 8th. Now what is that? He's under pressure for me now. He is under pressure to keep his seat. That is shocking. Shocking. Gets beat by a Renault yesterday in qualifying. Beaten by 2 Renaults in the race. He did have overheating problems, but that is still not good enough. I mean, that's shocking. Beaten by 2 Renaults. Pierre Gasly in a Red Bull. Lance Stroll, home race. He's nowhere in qualifying, but good points for Stroll. He's a shocking qualifier, but in the race, again he produces. He scored his first ever points here, and he's done it again. That's superb by Lance Stroll. He gets stick, and rightfully so, but that is superb. He deserves to be on driver of the day for me. Danny Kvyat put a world-class move on Kevin Magnussen. He has been arguably driver of the season, Kvyat. He looks a new man. I thought by now he would be dropped and out, but fair play to him. Turned it round. More points. Carlos Sainz, 11th. Got passed late on by Stroll and Kvyat. Perez, 12th. Now, Perez gets his pants pulled down a bit, because Stroll's in the points, Perez isn't. Grosjean, 13th. Hardly saw him on the TV. Or is that... Can't even read my own writing. 13th is Giovinazzi, 14th is Grosjean. Giovinazzi had that spin, although it's been a better weekend for Giovinazzi. Beats Kimi in the qualifying and the race. Kimi Raikkonen, 15th. Very poor weekend by Raikkonen. Russell, 16th. That's the best he can do. He beats a Haas, beats Kubica in qualifying in the race. Magnussen started from the pit lane, had the crash in qualifying. He's nowhere. He's 17th. And Kubica 18th. Oh, Robert. Ah. I don't hide away. This is pure reaction. Vettel, here he is. Boycotts the podium. And then here he comes. Hamilton's got number 1 in his car. He turns it. He takes number 2 to Hamilton's car. Puts number 1. Obviously he didn't park where he should, Vettel. Waves to the crowd. Gets a massive reception. It's tense in the cool down room. Goes to shake Leclerc's hands. The stewards. Actually, I'm going to rate the stewards. Minus 200. They won it all about them. We should be talking about what a world-class that race. A world-class race between 2 great world champions. But no, we're talking about a stewards and a dodgy penalty decision. 2016 Monaco. Watch it back. When Ricciardo's behind Hamilton. Hamilton rejoins unsafely. It's the same incident. No penalty. But this one is a penalty. It's nice to see them actually hugging Hamilton, actually let him come up on the step. But somber mood. They're killing racing. Hamilton says in the press conference he wants this close wheel-to-wheel action. Then he's on the radio moaning that Seb should get a penalty. He gets a penalty. 162 for Hamilton. Wow. He might as well give the World Championship to Hamilton already. I mean, he gets lucky in Bahrain. He gets lucky today. The penalty's a disgrace. I can't accept that. Vettel deserved to win that race. He's robbed. I've got to admit, Vettel did come back on the track unsafely. But he was out of shape at the same time, so... He's out of shape. Comes back on the track. Look, we're watching it again. He comes in, but look, he goes across the grass, then goes across the curb, and he turns that way. So he was out of shape. Hamilton tries to go around the outside. If he continues, he's in the wall. See, that's where you could have could Hamilton, when he comes through, could he have braked? Vettel would have gone towards the wall, and maybe he could have gone underneath him, because he would have had such a better exit. Somber mood, somber mood. I'm not happy with that. I thought it was a good race, but I don't know. That makes my blood boil. It's not a penalty. I mean, if it's 10th place, it's a penalty, but it's for the race win. Take this into consideration. It's not good enough. That is not good enough. Sebastian Vettel is robbed of the Canadian win. He deserved it. And it's Mercedes have won every race on the stats, so still we've not seen another win. Mercedes dominance. Ferrari won this race, but it's robbed. The stewards are a disgrace. It's constant bullshit by the stewards. I mean, let me know your thoughts down below. Comment, we'll always reply. A controversial Canadian Grand Prix. And we've been going 17 minutes, but you can understand why. A bit of a different race reaction because I had to talk about the penalty. Look, who is it? Who is that driver steward? Hang your head in shame. I don't recognise him, so he can't be anyone famous. Hopefully he won't be stewarding another race. Disgraceful. My honest reaction. I really don't know what... I'm hurt by that. We want to see racing and they're just killing it by these penalties. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. That is qualifying reaction done. Race reaction done. Look out for driver ratings. They're going to be interesting. And there'll be a lot of 10s this weekend. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments down below. Get them in early. I'll get one of you pinned. That sounded wrong. No BDSM here. Ooh, kinky. What a disgrace. Stewards. Vettel wins the Canadian Grand Prix. In my opinion. Adios. Thanks for watching.